Delete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. Oh, something big has just happened. The political narrative surrounding West Africa right now is missing the bigger picture. For years, Western headlines have focused strictly on the fallout between the Ecowas and the Sahel states. We hear about sanctions, we hear about broken diplomatic ties and regional divisions. But on the ground, a completely different reality is taking shape. While political leaders debate in international capitals, Burkina Faso is quietly building a model of self-reliance that its neighbors are actively adopting. This isn't happening through grand summits or formal treaties. It is happening through direct, practical cooperation in health, education, and infrastructure. Look at public health. Mosquitoes don't carry passports and diseases don't care about diplomatic borders. Recognizing this, health authorities in Togo and Burkina Faso recently scrutinized their malaria prevention campaigns along their shared border. Instead of letting political friction stall public health, both nations exchanged real-time data and treated children on both sides. Why are neighboring countries partnering with Burkina Faso on these initiatives? Because the numbers speak for themselves. After aggressively rolling out targeted health strategies, community sanitation, and domestic coordination, Burkina Faso saw a massive drop in malaria cases over a single year. That success saved local families billions in medical costs and proved that treating public health as national infrastructure gets real results. We are seeing this same practical approach in security and institutional training. For decades, African nations automatically sent their military elite to train in Europe or North America, inheriting foreign doctrines and security priorities. Training officers locally changes that dynamic completely.
In the health sector, the fight is intended to be joint with combined efforts against malaria. The Burkina Faso-Togo partnership is launching the chemo prevention campaign against the disease. On July 20th, a cross-border collaboration was established to accelerate the reduction of the burden of this illness. The account of the events with Hassan Gebre and Nicolas Sorgo.
Handshake between the Minister of Health, Lucien Robert Cargo, who welcomes here at the Sinclair Joint Control Post his counterpart from Togo. This morning's meeting between these two figures marks the beginning of a new era in the fight against malaria for these two nations.
Given the borders we share, you know that in Africa, our borders are artificial. Our parents go to farm on the other side. Others go to trade on the other side. Sometimes even for schooling or healthcare, we move. It is important that we synchronize, that we align our two countries, both to optimize resources, human resources, logistics, products, and also to give ourselves the best chance of not letting children slip through the cracks.
If the official ceremony took place on Burkinabe soil with the performance of the two national anthems, it is in this family courtyard located on the other side of the border in Sinclair, Togo, that Ministers Cargo and Tessie administered the first doses of medication to these two children.
Malaria knows no borders. The mosquito does not carry a passport. It was therefore very important for us to have a coordinated and united response, to synchronize this campaign in order to achieve much more convincing results. I would truly like to invite all border populations to join the seasonal malaria prevention campaigns.
This cross-border campaign for seasonal malaria chemo prevention will take place from the 23rd to the 26th of July across both territories. It concerns all children aged 3 to 59 months. Seasonal malaria chemo prevention is an intervention recommended by the WHO and aims to reduce morbidity and mortality related to malaria by 75% in children under 5 years old.
Strategic partnership right here on the continent. Even basic civil infrastructure is being retooled. Instead of relying on foreign loans or international contractors to build basic water systems, local state agencies are designing, repairing, and managing key agricultural dams themselves. That domestic water management feeds directly into regional trade. When Burkina Faso irrigated farms produce year-round crops, neighboring markets take notice, proving that real economic leverage comes from actual production, not foreign aid. This shift extends to cultural and legal institutions as well. Traditionally, imported court attire is gradually being replaced by locally woven texture. It is a practical move that cuts state funding, keeps money circulating within local economies, and strips away unnecessary colonial handovers that make no sense in a tropical climate. What we are witnessing isn't just a political shift. It is a practical model of Pan-African cooperation built from the ground up. This is all that we are talking about as Africans. Burkina Faso, as we know, the world has viewed it to be the most poorest nation in the world. Burkina Faso is changing the narrative and how people perceive it to be. This is a clear message to all of us in Africa. Even though the continent has been sold to the whole world about how poor we are, but that doesn't mean we cannot do anything for ourselves. That is why we are seeing that the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are doing everything possible in their own way. Burkina Faso is now sharing expertise to other nations as to how to combat this disease called malaria that is not making Africans to have peace. Rather than importing, spending much, bringing experts from the globe where we know at the end of the day, it is the African that suffers and we don't get any result because we have seen their initiatives in Africa for a very long time and these things haven't helped the African. But Burkina Faso and Togo just shown the world how the African can manage his or her own affairs. It's not about I am a democratic leader. It's about how the African will put away our differences and work together as a people. This is the only way we are getting to our destination as a people. The moment we decide to do away with that division that was created among us, the African tribes. And because they want to let the world understand that what they are preaching is the real truth, they make sure our leaders don't look within, always thinking about how to move out, bring them. We have been sold a narrative that is making the African today believe less in him or herself. All we do is to always go out to bring people because we believe that they have the expertise. We always talk about expertise, forgetting that the African is also capable. The Burkinabe authorities are working and we are seeing real change. We are seeing how billions are saved. This money would have been sent overseas, but today we are seeing the same money remaining in Africa to change the continent. We can build ourselves only if we are ready to keep the money flowing within the continent. That is by providing our own solutions to our own problems, sharing expertise like what is just happening. The ball is in our court. And these leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have laid the ground. They have laid the ground. It is left unto you and I to follow it so we can cause a change. We can bring something into existence. We can make sure that whatever that is an obstacle on the way of our development is taken out. And we can only do that when we trust ourselves, when we work together in unity. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Burkina Faso and in Togo.